What is up, everybody? It is Rodak here with Rodak Survival, and today's video is going to be a lot different than the videos you usually see on the channel. It is going to be loosely based with some MX bikes because you're going to see some MX bikes gameplay going on in the back, and some of the topics we're going to talk about is MX bikes, but I wanted to tell you guys kind of like a little story and what's been going on these past couple months and why I haven't been posting as consistently, because a lot has been going on behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. So sit back, grab your popcorn. We got to go into a little bit of a story time today. And I really am reaching out because if you guys can help out, that would be great. If you could share the video, like the video, or help out with what I'm going to speak about here in just a second, then that would be awesome. And make sure you guys stick around towards the end of the video. I explain to you how you could try to help me out. But yeah, not much really to say other than that. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So I have been working for a company for about 2.5 years, and everything seemed to be going good and going great, and then I started getting really sick. And if you guys have been around the channel, I had surgery back in November, and I had all of my top teeth removed and I had implanted dentures put in. My top teeth were really bad. I had a bunch of infections. They were either broken, chipped, or just missing altogether. Now, before you go thinking anything, I'm literally someone who's never touched drugs. I've only drank once in my life. I'm 32 years old. I eat relatively healthy. I'm an avid gym goer. I stay active. And so I say all that to say that's not why my teeth were bad. Now, a big factor of why my teeth happened like that is I am a type 1 diabetic, and I also have a rare disease called Langerhans cell histiocytosis. Now, I'm not going to go into a bunch of specifics about it. If you want to look it up, it's Langerhans cell histiocytosis, or LCH for short. It can cause a host of different issues. It can put holes or tumors in your bones. It can break down things. And when they initially found it when I was 17, they found a lot of pus pockets in my throat, and I kept getting sick, and they'd test me for all different types of strands of mono and strep and whatnot, and they never could find out what was wrong with me until that came up. So that was found in my throat. So the disease, when they initially found it, was in my throat. They found some moles and everything on my back that had it in there as well. So it affected my teeth, and they just became extremely brittle. So like literally I would like bite into just a regular piece of bread with nothing other than just a piece of bread, and my tooth would chip, or I would brush my teeth and my teeth would just chip and flake off, and that's just a product of having the disease. So obviously, having all those infections, I didn't feel good all the time. I was sick a lot, and then I really started to get bad around the time that I started to find the surgery. So I'd say last year around like March, April time, I started getting sick constantly. Like every little thing was getting to me. If someone had a common cold, then it would turn into something worse for me, and I'd catch it. And so that ended up causing me to miss work constantly, because I would be running a fever or having some complications, or my face would swell up because something was infected in my mouth. And it was just a whole host of issues that were going on, and my work did work with me quite a bit because I used PTO time for all that. And I was able to find a way to have surgery, because this is not cheap, but I was able to find a way where I had to go through multiple different avenues and routes to get cleared by all these different professionals and whatnot, but to be able to have my medical insurance cover it. So I was able to get that surgery in November, and it took me a while to start feeling better, maybe January or February. I was running fevers quite a bit after that, with my body fighting off the infections and trying to get rid of everything that's in there. But like I said, January or February, I started to feel good again. I started being able to go to the gym again, started being able to eat normal, because I had to go on a 90-day soft food diet. So basically just soups and stuff like that for 90 days. And I started to feel good again. And for a couple months, I was feeling the best I'd ever felt since I was 21 years old. My body was fighting those infections for 10 plus years in my mouth. And it was agonizing. It was painful. It was all that stuff. But for the first time in a long time, I was able to see myself with a full smile, which was great to see. And I was pain free. But then around April, I started having issues with some of my bottom teeth as well. But going back to the surgery, I had some bottom teeth that weren't doing great as well. But with all the avenues that I had to go through to get cleared, I didn't have enough bone loss in the bottom jaw to be able to have them cover the bottoms to be done as well. So I had a plan with the dentist and the oral surgeon that I was going to have my bottoms done at some point this year. Unfortunately, the plan and everything that the insurance was doing, they cut back on it. So you're not able to go through that program anymore to have that done this year. And around April, or around, let's say about the beginning of April, I started having issues with my bottom teeth as well. And I started having the same issues that I had on the top. And the whole cycle repeated again, and I started getting sick, and then I started running fevers all the time, and it was just a nightmare. And so that's why you guys haven't been seeing a lot of MX Bikes content come out, because I was missing work and I was stressing out about work, and all day what I did was I was in spreadsheets all day, and I was working all day on a computer, and then I'd get home and I'd be so stressed about work, about missing work, that I didn't want to put out videos, and I was tired and I was not feeling good, and there was a bunch of factors going in. And I tried to make a video every so often on when I did feel a little right. I could make a video, but things were just not going well, and I was stressing out myself out a lot. And then I was really getting sick. I lost like 13 pounds. Lost all the muscle that I had regained, and I feel insecure still even right now. I'm just feel like skin and bones, and it's just not been a fun time. And unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, the company that I was working for decided to let me go due to my attendance. Now, I can see both sides. I can see why they would do that, because they always say the best ability is your availability. I was also using PTO during that time, and then if I didn't have PTO, I would come in early or work on a Saturday or stay late. So I felt like I was doing pretty good, but the part where it really caught me off guard is there was never really any talks about this. I was never written up for any about this. It was just kind of got called up one day and then just told this is your last day. Now, this obviously is a stressor because I'm 32 years old. It's not like I'm younger and I can still be on my parents' insurance, and I have my own place, and you all of a sudden you don't have an income anymore and you don't have insurance anymore, and both of those really tend to freak you out. And it's one of those things where it's like, I live pretty under my means already. I pay my car payment. I live in an apartment that's pretty cheap for the area that I'm in, and I don't spend a lot already, and I was already basically just living paycheck to paycheck already at that job. So it's one of those things where you kind of need something that can kind of replace that job as far as pay goes, and I can't really take too much of a pay cut. So that's what these last 2 weeks have been about. I've been just applying like crazy on Indeed, formulating my resume, trying to make it look as clean as possible, just trying to find what's out there that in a suitable pay range to where I can, afford my bills. But another big thing is insurance. Man, like, insulin is super expensive for a type 1 diabetic. It was $23 a month for me with insurance, and it can be upwards to $700, $800, $900 a month without insurance. So it's one of those things. That's what really freaks me out more so than the income, is unless you have a really good job out there, or unless you're making a lot of money, I don't know how you can afford to be a diabetic. I don't really know how you can afford to be a diabetic and afford insulin monthly, unless, like I said, you're just balling. I have been trying to look into assistance programs that can help you get insulin cheaper. I've been trying to do everything on my end to try to make this work out. But that was the whole point of this video, is to kind of try to explain everything and to get to the point of where you guys could help me out if you would like to, or if you're capable of doing so. So now with this extra free time in between going to interviews and applying for jobs, I can make more videos. So that means I've restructured my Patreon. There is a $3 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. And they kind of go into explanation of each one on the site, but I can give you a brief summary. The $3 tier, the bronze tier, gives you all access to all the videos that I'm going to be putting out that won't ever see YouTube. I record every race that I do in MX bikes, so all you guys see the ones that I post to YouTube, but every race and every moto that I do that I have recorded will be going up on that Patreon as extra content and additional content. Also in that bronze tier, you get access to fun races that I put on, or elimination races that I put on. Now the $5 silver tier, it gives you access to everything in the bronze tier. I also do a shout out list at the end of each YouTube video, and I'll also be putting some of my bike setups in the Patreon as well. That way you guys can have the same bike setup that I'm riding. Now the gold tier is the $10 tier. It gives you all the same access as to bronze and the silver tiers. Also, 1 day per week, you get to choose a time and date for a 45-minute one-on-one session, and we can just ride together. We can work on some things. I can help train you or get better at the game. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up your guys' ass. I'm not an ARL pro. I've been very close to qualifying for ARL, but I'm not an ARL pro. Training for me could mean nothing, could mean a lot of things, but I do feel like I have a certain skill set, especially for newer players or intermediate players. And with a lot of my previous work experience, I've been a trainer in a lot of my jobs. I just have a pretty good natural ability to be able to break things down, be able to explain things, and be able to teach people to do things better than I can do them myself. So yeah, if you would like to help out, that Patreon link is going to be down in the description. But even if you can't help out with subscribing to the Patreon or giving a follow or anything like that. If you guys could share the video, like the video, put it in your Discords, do whatever you can, I would really appreciate it. Any little bit helps at this point in time because the job market is not great at the moment, and I'm applying, like I said, like crazy. But it's one of those things where you kind of at the mercy of someone else. So just anything extra would be extremely helpful with bills and with my medical supplies and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope I didn't talk you guys' ear off. I hope I didn't bore you guys at all. And I'm not trying to do this as like a pity party thing, but like I said, the Patreon is up. You get a lot of additional content. You get a lot of additional things like some bike setups that I throw in there and all that other stuff just based on what tier you go to. So like I said, anything helps. I don't want to keep yapping in you guys' ear, but I really appreciate it if you could drop a like on this video and hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.